Stu Cowan here with Dave Stubbs in the press lounge at the Bell Center after the Canadiens improved to 5-0 for the first time in franchise history with a 3-0 win over the New York Rangers. Dave, the Carey Price show once again.
Unreal, Stu. You just when you think you've written all the adjectives that you can about Carey Price, I mean, he just does something ridiculous. And tonight, I mean, he again was all universe. I mean, he certainly earned the trophies that he won last year. There's no question about that. But he went through that stretch late in the second period when the Canadiens were killing that 5-on-3, and some of the saves that he made were just absolutely off the charts. You just can't even imagine them. You couldn't animate them in a cartoon if you tried. So it was fabulous. And Andre Markov told me after the game, look, he said, it's fun playing in front of a guy like that. He gives you confidence. He knows that you're going to get the crowd into it as well, and that's very much what Price did. I mean, the crowd was very much of a playoff intensity almost tonight, and that was because of Carey Price.
And as Michel Therrien likes to say Carey. He was that again, but he was even more tonight. He had maybe the best hit of the night on Kreider behind the net. In the room afterwards, Carey said he didn't know who it was. I don't believe him for a second. Right. And when I said he went down pretty hard, Carey said, well, I'm a pretty big guy. So it was the Carey Price show, and Thomas Fleischmann in the room afterwards said, man, I think that guy can do everything.
Yeah, and you know what? We know what Kreider is to this team. I mean, Kreider was the guy whose baseball slide, block, whatever you want to call it, in Game 1 of the Eastern Final a couple of seasons ago. That's the thing that knocked Carey Price out of the rest of the playoffs. So if Price didn't know it was Kreider, then it was a tremendous hit. If he did know, well, good for him to have just straightened him out. He could have gotten an interference penalty, but I was more disappointed about the fact that he wasn't given credit for a hit. Because, I mean, yeah, you could see him square his shoulders, and it's like...
He leaned into him like, whoops.
It's like Kreider just skated into a brick wall, and Price is a big lad. So, I mean, not a surprise that he went down like a ton of bricks.
Price, it was mentioned that Price didn't get credit for the hit, and he said, well, I don't get paid for that anyways, but he did everything else. Who else caught your eye tonight, Dave?
David Desharnais. I would think that Desharnais is playing really, really well on that line. He did some really good, hard quality work on the 2 assists that he picked up. It was his rebound for Thomas Fleischmann that opened the scoring, and it was actually his really good, hard work down on the half wall that set up Dale Weiss for the insurance goal. So it's nice to see Desharnais doing what he's doing, given the role that he has, and I don't think he's played with more confidence in this city.
No, and the work ethic on this team is through the roof. Torrey Mitchell, the fourth line, everybody's working hard. 5-0, they'll go for 6-0 Saturday night here at the Bell Center against Detroit.
Who would have guessed it? It's amazing, but I mean, yeah, this team got out of the blocks the way they did, and they won 4 impressive games on the road. They come home to Montreal, and if ever there was going to be a bit of a letdown, especially on an opening ceremony night, right, where a little bit of the, as energetic as it is, there's always a little bit of energy that's taken out of the building when the thing drags out a bit. But good for the Canadiens. They didn't drag it out. They combined the situation of some of the old-timers, some of the guys, the alumni, the superstars, and they put it with some of the new guys who are playing, who are the present and the future of this team. So they did it really nicely. No one does it better than the Habs, and they got on with playing hockey, and what a wonderful game we were treated to.
It was, and the new guys, Fleischmann and Torrey Mitchell, so short boy, also said he thought he could hear the roar coming from Greenfield Park when he held the torch. So it was a great game, and the Habs, as I said, will go for 6-0 against Detroit.